Some quick notes on the turkey flat dinner which we had this week. We've never had the sparkling Shiraz available from Turkey Flat before. I've had it once or twice in Australia, and judging by the reception of the people at dinner, it went kind of well. I think for me what I'm looking for in a sparkling Shiraz is something which is true to the essence of Shiraz, beautiful, rich, dense fruit, but at the same time you don't want it cloying or too sweet, and I'm always looking for a dry finish, and I think that's what was achieved remarkably well in the wine. Then the Turkey Flat Rosé 2012, I wasn't particularly jazzed about 2011, which might be a reflection of a difficult wet vintage, but the 12 is back in its game. At Dolcetto, blending with the Shiraz, Mourvedre and Cabernet just sings, and there's a reason why that wine has been voted the best rosé in Australia by Halliday so many consecutive years in a row. It really is superb, and it's back in its game. The Butcher's Block White, I really like white Rhone style wines, and this one is one of the best that I've found out of Australia. It's the 2010. The acid is fantastic. It's not showing nearly as much of what it's going to do in 6 to 12 months. So we're happy to take a long-term view on that wine. But I thoroughly recommend it if you're looking for something that's got some substance and body to it, but still has an aromatic component. That's certainly one to go for. We then looked at Butcher's Block Red, 8 and 10. And 8 is very resolved. In 6 to 12 months, it's going to be too resolved, I think, for my 2 cents worth. The 10, however, is a different kettle of fish. Tannins are structured, powdery, firm, really beautiful. It's drinking well now, and I'd shoot it out for another 2 to 3 years at least. There really is a major difference in long-term quality between the 8 and the 10. Then into the Shirazes, we looked at 6, 8, and 10. 6 is gorgeous, and I was hoping it would be, and I'm super excited to see more Barossa 6s coming out in time to come from back vintage releases, because that really was beautiful. The 8 Shiraz echoed the Butcher's Block 8. It was showing a lot of effusive fruit, ripe fruit. The tannins were again a major step up qualitatively, a really terrific wine. But for me, the 10 as a long-term thing is going to look a lot better. So in other words, the 2010 in 2 years' time will look far superior than the 2008 looks today. Then onto the Mourvedre, tricky wine, ambitious wine to do on its own. I love the spicy component, and there was a beautiful sweet rich fruit which can only be classic Barossa Shiraz. So really happy to look at that one as well. I think wine of the night for me was probably the Shiraz 10, followed by the Mourvedre. And then of course can't forget the Rosé. It really is quite a fantastic one. So that's the roundup for this week. Cheers.